You're smart. You read, you research, you think things through. And somehow, you still make decisions that make absolutely no sense. Here's why that happens. It's the relationship you stayed in way too long, even though you saw every red flag. The career path you chose because it looked good on paper, even though your gut screamed no. The investment you made because you'd done your research right before it crashed. You're not stupid. You knew better, but you did it anyway. So what's going on? Here's the thing about being smart. It makes you confident. And confidence is dangerous. Because the smarter you are, the better you get at convincing yourself you're right. Your brain doesn't just think, it builds cases, it constructs arguments, it finds evidence. And when you're smart, you're really good at that. So you look at a bad decision and your brain doesn't say, this is wrong. It says, here are 17 reasons why this actually makes sense. And you believe it because it sounds smart. But intelligence doesn't protect you from bias. It amplifies it. The second problem, blind spots. Being smart means you're good at logic, at analysis, at reasoning, but it doesn't mean you see yourself clearly. Because intelligence operates in your conscious mind, but most of your decisions, they happen somewhere else. In the part of your brain that runs on emotion, fear, ego, and patterns you don't even notice. You can have a PhD and still choose the wrong partner because attraction isn't logical. You can be brilliant at your job and still ignore obvious problems because admitting you're wrong hurts. Intelligence gives you tools, but it doesn't tell you when you're using them on the wrong problem. And here's where it gets worse. When you make a bad decision, your smart brain doesn't admit it made a mistake. It justifies it. It takes the emotional choice you already made and builds a logical story around it. You didn't stay in that relationship because you were afraid of being alone. You stayed because relationships take work, and nobody's perfect, and timing matters. You didn't ignore the warning signs because of ego. You weighed the risks and considered all perspectives. Your intelligence becomes a lawyer for your worst instincts, and the smarter you are, the better the lawyer. Picture this. You're choosing between two job offers. One pays more, but something feels off. The culture, the role, something you can't name. The other pays less, but it feels right. Your smart brain kicks in. Let's be rational. The first one has better benefits, more opportunities, higher salary. Logically, it's the obvious choice. So you take it. And 6 months later, you're miserable because your gut was picking up on things your logic ignored. Red flags your intelligence explained away. You weren't dumb. You were too smart for your own good. Here's the shift. Intelligence is a tool, a powerful one, but it's not the same as wisdom. Intelligence is knowing how things work. Wisdom is knowing when you don't know. Intelligence solves problems. Wisdom knows which problems to solve. Intelligence builds arguments. Wisdom questions them. The smartest people aren't the ones with the most answers. They're the ones who know when to doubt themselves. So the next time you're about to make a big decision, don't just ask, does this make sense? Ask, am I using my intelligence to see clearly or to avoid seeing what I don't want to see? Because being smart doesn't make you right. It just makes you better at sounding right. And sometimes, the smartest thing you can do is admit you might be wrong.